There's a little clutter right here around the tank, but um, definitely getting a lot of that taken care of. I wanted to show you guys my zebrafish tank that I'm setting up. It's not having any, doesn't have any fish in it yet. And no, this alcohol won't be going in there. It's just a little cluttered around here right now. Doing some spring cleaning in the middle of winter here. Um, so I wanted to show you guys this and tell you a little bit about this. I bought this. My mom got me this tank for Christmas 2 years ago, but I've never. It took me a while before I was able to set up, and even then, I wasn't able to really have the time or the money to put fish in there because I was looking for work. And now that I have a more stable job, the economy is doing a lot better. Yay, Republicans! That now I'm able to have a solid job. I'm able to do more for myself. So what I did today was I bought um, these two bamboos right here. This one was already in here. I went to the pet store and they did the water testing and told me my nitrates and nitrites were a little too high, and said, hey, here's some stuff you can use. I've used basically everything. So like this, and I told them that I've used the stuff to get the bacterial cycle starting. I've used I put this guy on there, and nothing seems to work. It's the nitrates and nitrites are always a little too high, and that's due to a lot of the biological stuff that's going on. So when I talked to the person today, and she said, "Oh well, give it another week, maybe change the water." I was like, I've been doing this. I've done all this stuff a million times. And of course, I was very respectful with how I talked about it. And then I talked about the idea of, well, what if I put more plants in here? And she said, you know what, that might help. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to get rid of any dead pieces of plants that are floating around because they'll rot, and probably add to those nitrates and nitrites. Basic biology, um, and I was also told the other day when I bought this filter, hey, one of the problems is probably that my water was just still, and so I was getting a lot of anaerobic bacteria growing, but not enough aerobic bacteria growing. So some bacteria like to have oxygen, others don't care, and then some don't. To some bacteria, they just hate having oxygen around at all. So the way this works is, with the water flowing, it's helping to get things circulating, helping to get more air in there, and I'm sure with these plants, because plants create oxygen, again, basic biology, that will help improve things. And so this guy right here was 10 bucks. Same with this guy right here. I bought both of these today at the Chinese grocery store because I love to go to this local Chinese grocery store and buy stuff. They've even got live frogs in there, which is a really interesting. Live frogs, live eel, lots of live fish. It's almost like going to a pet store, except everything is much bigger and more colorful than what you see in the fish section at the pet store. This one I bought a while ago, and I had to throw out two of them, so they were like a dollar 50 for each of these little bamboos, and I just put them together with a rubber band. Um, and I'm hoping that this metal part here isn't going to affect the fish. Oh, whoops, a little piece fell off. I'll have to throw that out in a bit when I'm done, with this video. Uh, so basically, yeah, that's what I've been setting up, and my goal with this is I ultimately want to put glowing zebrafish in here, which my understanding is I think it was Dr. Robert Carter who invented those. He's a creation scientist, so he's a creationist. He does real science, and the glowing zebrafish are now a popular pet. If you see the glowfish at the pet store, there's a few different species now, but the glowing zebrafish I think are what he invented, and then there's been other spin-offs of that in other species. It'd be really cool if they end up having a glowing goldfish. I think they should go for that next. Um, so this is basically the setup that I have. The rocks down at the bottom are supposed to when you put the light on there to make the zebrafish fluoresce, because I'm not sure if they're actually bioluminescent, the zebrafish, or if they just have fluorescent colors that react with certain wavelengths of light. But I do know you have to put a certain light on there to get the full effect. and then these rocks end up having the effect as well. So when you put the special light on there, they look like they glow. Now, I am going to go out on a limb and say, hey, if this doesn't work, if I take this water to be tested again and they still, in about a week, and they still say, well, your nitrates and nitrites are a little too high, I'm just going to call it a day and say, I'm going to, what I'm going to do is buy some of the cheaper zebrafish. So um, the zebrafish that don't glow, that aren't genetically modified, those are like $1.50 per fish. So maybe get 5 of them, throw them in there, and if they die, they die. Um, and I'm sure I'll have somebody who's an animal rights activist on here, and I'm all for not being cruel to animals, but they're fish, and at some point you do have to take a risk and find out, okay, will they live or not? And to be honest, if I can start taking care of zebrafish, that's something that as a biotech graduate I could put on my resume, because zebrafish are very, very popular in the biotech industry. They're a model organism for vertebrates, for animals with a backbone, including humans. So that's I'm not sure really what else I can say about that. I guess just happy to have the new year. I'm happy to be taking more care of myself. I'll probably get a nice haircut tomorrow. Be ready for the next video. And I'm also going to be having coffee with at least one person from a local biotech company. So, right now I've been doing pretty good. Still in a frozen storage lab, and so yeah, life's going well. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and leave some comments in the comments section to let me know what other videos you would like me to make in the future. This is Greg,